There are two ways that we'll try to get unmet needs met when we're in emotional repression. The first is to repress and hide a specific emotion, and the second is to identify or cling to that same emotion. Think about it like this. When you're a kid, in order to get your needs for safety and love met, and depending on what's deemed acceptable by your caregivers, you're either going to hide your powerful emotions and show your vulnerable ones, or hide your vulnerable ones and show your powerful ones. I'm a kid who repressed anger, so my two unconscious strategies to try to get my needs met, I found out when I started doing emotional repression work, were one, to repress and bury anger and be a good boy. And when that failed, the second one, at an even more unconscious level in the body, was to hold on to or cling to that anger in an impotent and futile attempt to try to punish people into meeting my needs. A lot of people call this passive aggression, right? And it's what anger repressors do. It's what we have been doing since we were kids to try to get what we needed. And bear in mind, we don't consciously know that we're doing this, right? It's all happening below the level of consciousness. We usually don't find out until we start having chronic pain or depression or anxiety or compulsions. So that's anger repression, right? Hiding the powerful emotions and presenting with the vulnerable ones. Hurt and vulnerability repression is the exact flip of anger repression. So the out front strategy for hurt repressors is to try to punish and dominate people into meeting their needs for safety and love. Their surface level anger and show of dominance is safer than the buried hurt, grief, and sadness in their bodies, which they're repressing in order to stay safe and get love from mom and dad, and identifying with on an even deeper level as a sort of cry for help. I have to cling to my hurt, sadness, and grief so that someone might finally see it and meet my unmet childhood needs. So, what does this mean when we encounter anger repressors or hurt repressors? Well, if we can see through the facade or the pretense and see what's actually happening, it can be really helpful. It can soften things for us. When we encounter an anger repressor who's in their strategy of either people-pleasing or disconnecting, we can recognize that both are a desperate child's attempt to get needs met. Or when we're faced with a hurt repressor who's in their strategy of either bullying or catastrophizing, we can recognize it as the same and have some compassion, which, by the way, can look like setting and holding boundaries. That's actually a really compassionate response to either repressor type, right? Who are both either overtly or covertly bullying and dominating to try to get what they want. And if we resonate with either type, anger repression or hurt repression, we can either start to recognize what's happening inside of us and have some grace for ourselves, or if we're ready to, we can start doing some emotional repression work. To simplify what this looks like for an anger repressor, it would mean coming out of anger repression and identification, and for a hurt repressor, out of hurt repression and identification. If you'd like to learn how to do this skillfully, I mentor people in this, so hit me up.